Hey everybody. Hopefully this ain't gonna take too long. I was just thinking, I was watching this video. It was from this movie. I've never watched it. I think I watched like a little excerpt on YouTube, and it was like involving like the actor Martin Lawrence, Regina King, and some other like famous, well-known actors. Um, but it was called A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Now, if you heard that, you probably already know what that is. Probably I've heard about it, but I've never watched it. And watching it, a lot of things kind of came up for me, so it kind of triggered my chronophobia. But at the same time, it made me just I'm still coming full circle with it, but it just made me see like the dynamics of stuff, like of like the backlash of what boyhood would do, because it's like if you pursue like that boyhood, like you just want to have fun, boys and girls they just want to have fun, you might reach a blockade of sorts, with the wrong person, of course. It's like people get hurt and people develop defense strategies and mechanisms for themselves. And some people they'll run into the wrong person trying to play their games and they'll get hurt. And that I think that's what the film's all about. I watched. I've seen like I don't even know what the heck it was. It was like a review of the movie, and I was pretty much explained it all. I don't know who it was by, but it was pretty good when I watched it. It wasn't very long. And, watching it is really cool movie. I had this aversion, and it's probably due to the chronophobia, like just two older movies, because I'm like, man, I ain't trying to watch this older movie. But it's like, you know, it's a movie. It came out. It has to have some merit. Unless it was just a bad movie, then probably not. But like, I've seen movies today that's still bad. They don't have continuity. It doesn't go anywhere. It forces narratives. Like I've seen bad movies before, like today, these days. And while I appreciate the effects and stuff, it still goes to show you that a good story goes a long way. A good story can last a long time. And it shows like these archetypes. Like you got the boy. They don't really have the man figure in there, like the example that Martin Lawrence's character Darnel is supposed to be. But it does show like the different archetypes of the woman. You have the woman like that fall with his charms, the one that essentially don't, and the one that kind of has his heart. And they might be childhood friends, but it's like she's doing something with herself. She's not just trying to be charmed bound, and he still cares about her. So, and it's very interesting because of their relationship, because it's like so far what I'm reading, what I'm watching is that he didn't feel the need to give her big things. Like he gave her some candy when she came back from I guess her service or whatever, and she was like, "Oh man, thanks," because he knew her enough to be like, I don't need to be flashy. I don't need to be grandiose. I can give you something small, and I know you would appreciate it. And I'm like, that's dope. That's some healthiness right there. But again, I don't. I think from even personal experience, just immature personalities, they just don't want to settle. They just can't settle. They just think that there's always something better out there for them, or that they're just selfishly seeking their whatever their desires are, and it's people. Some people see it, some people don't, but it's like people justify it however they want, but it's like when you find it, it's almost like a good woman is hard to find, or a good man is hard to find, or a good person is hard to find. And it's like, man, you wish you wanna find a good person. And I've seen this archetype throughout the '90s about the good person, and it's hard to say because it's like in this world, people aren't necessarily just a good person. There are people trying to be good, but people they're kind of gray, and I think a good person is someone who strives to be better than in the gray or bad or whatever. So that's one thing I liked about this, because like it shouldn't. I don't know if it shouldn't take you a lot of effort, but making an effort shouldn't feel like you're overly exerting yourself. At least that's the impression I get, and that's just it. I don't know, but I do feel like being yourself shouldn't be a problem.